single pot meal, but it's pasta, and it's going to have a lot of the stuff you see here, plus we're making an elevated garlic bread today. So I think we just need to get started. So let's go. Let's get started. Okay, guys, we're going to get started with a garlic bread. I have my oven heated to 425. We're going to be using some miso, some thyme, some garlic, and some unsalted butter. We want to make sure we're using unsalted butter because I tried it with salted butter first. It was a little salty with the miso. If you want that extra salt, that's perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with it. I think my wife preferred it that way. So I'm going to go ahead. Actually, first thing I'm going to do is, I opened the thyme, but I'm actually going to take a stick of unsalted butter, so about half of this, if I can unwrap it. Jeez. And that's all the butter we're going to need. Hopefully. We only need about 1 or 2 teaspoons worth of thyme. Now, if you've never worked with fresh thyme before, easiest thing to do is hold on to the end and just pull back with your fingers. When you're doing that, you're just going to get the leaves. Obviously, there's going to be some that go all over the place, and that's okay. It's up to you to determine whether or not you want to deal with that. Personally, I don't, so I'm not going to. Honestly, what I usually do is I usually have my teenagers help me, and one of the things I have them do is strip thyme leaves or rosemary leaves or sage leaves, because that's the stuff I don't want to do. So if you have kids, give them chores you don't want to do and tell them they're helping. Eventually they'll get smart enough though and know you're just lying and getting them to do the stuff you don't want. But if you have younger kids, now is the time to get them involved before they get too smart. You're actually going to see some of my kids this year in the recipes that kids can help with. Not all of my kids want to be on the camera, but those that do are going to be helping out, and you'll get to meet them. So now we have our thyme. Throw that in with the butter. Now we have our garlic, 4 cloves. You don't want to crush it when you're doing this. You just want to loosen that skin. Because when you loosen that skin, it then becomes a lot easier to peel. Again, I forgot to bring a garbage bowl. I brought a bowl, but can't put garbage in that one when there's stuff in there that we're going to be eating. So that's on me. You know what? Feel free to bring a garbage bowl to yours. Or not. I mean, it's up to you. Honestly. We're just grating this garlic because we want as much garlic flavor as possible in this garlic bread. And grating is the best way to get that going. Just one more. I mean, it may seem like a lot of garlic, but again, this is garlic bread. So I don't know exactly how you can do this without a lot of garlic. So now we go ahead and we put that in. And I forgot a spoon for the miso. Now for the miso, you're putting in like 1.5 tablespoons. I don't measure. I just do that. Now, what miso is going to do is give you like a nice umami kick. And I don't know why I did that. And it's really going to make the garlic bread sing. It's going to take everything out that you weren't expecting to come out. It adds depth of flavor. It adds salt level. It just elevates every part of it. And it's such a simple addition to your garlic bread. I mean, just homemade garlic bread is 10 times better anyway. But once you're adding like miso paste and stuff like that in, you are changing a lot of the dynamics of the bread. Give me just a minute to mix this up, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back, and everything is pretty much fully incorporated here. It's important to note that you want to make sure your butter is soft. You don't want to have hard butter when trying to do this. Now, I am not using this entire loaf today. I'm only making half a loaf. I'm just using a French baguette. Nothing special. Just got it off the shelf at my local Kroger. You're literally just grabbing it and slathering it on. And that's all there is to the garlic bread. So we're just going to take our garlic bread, put on a baking sheet, stick it in a 425 degree oven, and by the time we're done with cooking what we're cooking next, we should be good. Give me a minute to clean this up, and I'll be right back with you. Okay guys, we are now on to our pasta. We are going to take our bacon. It's about 4 ounces of bacon or so. I didn't measure, so I really don't know. Again, we're just cutting it into very thin slices. It seems like a lot of bacon, and it is, but hey, it's bacon. No one ever said, oh no, I have too much bacon in my dish. So we are going to just add all of this bacon to this pot or pan, whatever you want to call it. And we are going to let it start, I guess, reducing down, releasing its fat, all that good stuff. Now we are going to mince up some garlic while we're waiting for that to happen. If it's ever going to happen. I swear, sometimes these burners are burning hot, and other times they are ice cold. It's really weird. But you know what? I don't have the fancy burners. I have stainless steel pots that would work with the fancy ones, but I just don't have those fancy ones. I'm not going to spend $100 on those. We are just going to mince our garlic Nothing major. Just thin cuts across, just like we would with our onion, and just straight down like we would with our onion. I can hear the bacon starting to go. Finally, we want this to get nice and crispy before we do anything else. Because if we don't crisp it now, it's not going to crisp later while we're doing our other stuff. So I'll tell you what, you go get a drink or something. I'll stay here doing this, and I'll see you back in a minute. Okay, so our bacon is pretty much brown and crispy at this point. So now what we can do is we can add our garlic that we just minced up. And also, we're going to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of gochujang. It's a Korean chili paste. If you're looking for it, it's probably going to be in the international aisle of your store. Most of the supermarkets will have it. Meijer has it. Kroger has it. So most of your supermarkets are going to have it. And what you're trying to do here is just break down the gochujang a little bit so it can bloom in this bacon fat. It should only take about 30 seconds or so. Nothing major. When your pan starts looking like a crime scene, it's probably good. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to take our dry spaghetti, about 8 ounces of spaghetti, so about half a box. Okay, and we're going to drop it in. Now I know the spaghetti is not going to really fit at the moment, so we're going to add a couple of cups of water in here. I'm going to get some more because we're going to need more. Well, I'm just not certain exactly how much more we're going to need. As these start cooking down, they'll start smushing, and we can get them into the pan. Some of them are going to break. You know what? Life's like that. Just deal with it. Can't fix everything. Oh well. You know what I mean? And for any of you Italians that are screaming at me right now that I'm breaking some of the pasta, you're lucky I didn't break it in half before I put it in entirely. I would have shown you. But in all seriousness, you just want it to pretty much just cover the pasta when it's just in there. All right, all the pasta's in there. The water is pretty much just covering the pasta. So that's what we want. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to start the carbonara process. So we're going to take 2 eggs. We're just going to break up the yolks and start beating them like this. You want them pretty well beaten. You want to add your black pepper in. It's about, I'd say about a half teaspoon to a teaspoon. And it's about a half a cup of pecorino romano. And you're going to mix all of this around. And you want grated pecorino because it just will work a lot better. It'll melt a lot easier than if you have it shredded. Now this is going to look like a bit of a mess, almost like a batter at the moment. And that's fine because we are going to be adding in some of the pasta water, which we have to add our salt to. Just a small pinch. And now this is just going to take a few minutes to cook. Once this is cooked down and is pretty much al dente in about 5 minutes, then we'll come on back and we'll start combining everything into one big dish. Okay guys, this pasta is pretty much perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make the carbonara. This honestly is the only difficult part, and I say difficult in that you can screw it up and end up with scrambled eggs. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your mixture that honestly looks more like couscous now, and you're just going to start stirring, and you're going to take a ladleful of the liquid. Just a ladleful, nothing major, and you're going to run it against the side of your bowl so it cools down a little more. And then you're going to whisk like you've never whisked before. So that way these eggs don't turn into scrambled eggs. And you're going to do with another ladleful. I like to do a couple until I'm certain that everything is going to be incorporated perfectly. Now it looks pretty good. Going to take that off the burner. We are going to take our mixture here and we are going to pour it in and mix it around. And we should have a nice creamy carbonara. Without any scrambled eggs. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to get a nice scoop of it. I never do this right, so it might end up looking like crap. And that's okay, because it's going to taste amazing. Just put some in the middle. Get some of that sauce. You want it to be nice and saucy. You spent all that time making that sauce, so you better use that sauce. Now for topping, we have some sesame seeds, some extra pecorino romano, or even some scallions to throw in here. And that's it. That's your dish right there. We have a nice, easy gochujang carbonara. And I almost forgot. We have our miso garlic bread to go along with it. And that's your perfect dish, and it took about 20 minutes. So until I see you next time, guys, have fun in the kitchen. Keep cooking.